Hello, everyone, and welcome in. This is your daily card reading for Friday, March 29th. So we're going to take a look and see what all messages want to come through for you from God, Spirit, the Divine. So we will go ahead and get started. I'll pull for the collective in general, and then I'll pull individually for the sign groupings. I'm using my dog deck again. And I'm also sporting my Artemis shirt. I recently went to space camp, and so this is actually the NASA logo that goes with the Artemis program. So this is the current space program that's supposed to be going back to the moon and then to Mars, but I figured it was appropriate for Artemis Green Tarot. So wanted to wear this today. So let's go ahead and jump in and see what all messages want to come through for today. All right, we have got the Wheel of Fortune, and we have the Ten of Wands, and we also have the Seven of Wands. So the Wheel of Fortune card, that is about destined and fated events. So these are our three major cards for today. And so this is our destined and fated. So things are going to unfold in divine timing. Now, sometimes when people hear the, divine timing, they think that means not right now. But remember, at some point, divine timing is now. So even if you're feeling maybe a little bit discouraged by timing within your life, know that it's unfolding at the rate that it's supposed to unfold. So when there are challenges that come up, when there's obstacles, when there's things that prevent you from moving forward, know that that is the universe's way of slowing you down because there's lessons you need to learn before you get what you think you want. So, if you've been, whatever it is, take an example. If you've been really, really, really wanting to own your own house, but you have no sense of financial management, or you don't know how to do some of the basic things like in terms of upkeep of a house, there could be some delays coming in because those are skills you need to learn before you end up buying a house and then ending up with this disaster that's beyond your ability to handle. So know that divine timing is there to protect you and keep you moving forward, but at a pace where, yes, there's lessons to be learned, but not like throwing you in where it's so overwhelming that you're just kind of swallowed up. And then we also have our Ten of Wands energy. So remember, that is that like burnout, frustration, just struggling. And so there's that energy out there. And then we also have our Seven of Wands energy, which is about perseverance and stamina. So there is this sense, when we put all three of them together, that yes, you're getting a little bit frustrated with maybe some of the slowness of it, but you're persevering. So let's see how this is going to affect each of the individual sign groupings and see what additional messages are coming through. So for today, we are going to start, or actually one point before that, in case you're not watching all the way through to the end, I will also be doing a twin flame reading that's going to be coming out later today, as well as some additional readings over the weekend. So make sure you hit the subscribe and notification bell if you want to be alerted as to when those new videos post. And as always, as I'm going through it, make sure, remember, trust your intuition. And how does this feel when you're hearing these messages? If something is resonating with you, then there's a message here for you. So let's go ahead then and dive in. Today we will start with our fire signs, and that is going to be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Let's see what messages want to come through for you for today. The Hierophant. So this is going to be that traditional, like inside of the box thinking. It also has some hints at or energy of finding like a mentor, guru, teacher, somebody like that. So as you're feeling stressed out and kind of overburdened, it's like you're stressed out by something that is inside of a box, and it's kind of like you're pushing up against that box. Like you're feeling like there's pressure to stay within this box, and so you kind of have this persistence of, okay, well, I guess I'll stay within the box. But there's something destined and fated about that, like either getting outside of the box, finding a new path, finding a teacher, mentor, guru who can help lead you down a path, or help you on your path of self-discovery of what is it that truly lights you up and lights your soul. All right, and since this is our new dog deck and we want to see more of the cards, here we go, pulling out a few of these. Although it's funny because I've only used this. This is the third reading I've done with this deck, and a lot of these cards are coming up the same. So here we have, this is the Six of Wands card. So a little bit of an up close there of the dog riding the horse. And this is that sense of victory. So fire signs, you are victorious in this issue that has kept you've been feeling just like burned out. So as we put this Wheel of Fortune together with the Six of Wands, there's definitely this sense of victory over this situation. One moment, I need to grab some water. Hi, sorry about that. So so there's this sense of victory over whatever this situation is that has been having you feeling like burned out, exhausted, and just really feeling like you're struggling. We do also have this King of Wands coming up in reverse. And so for fire signs, noticing that of the 5 cards, you have your 1 major arcana, which was the Wheel of Fortune. And then you also have your 4 minor arcana that are all wands. And so remember, wands is spirit. And so it's almost like this is going to be this kind of bigger soul learning moment for the for our fire signs, because of the fact that it's all of this like spirit. It's all of this type of emotional work. And with your King of Wands in reverse, this is kind of almost like this bitter type of energy that's coming through. So it's like a little bit of this, just like kind of gritty, impulsive, like I just want to be done with it. But that isn't necessarily bad. So, the cards aren't good or bad. They just are what they are. And so this sense of, oh, I'm overburdened, but I just keep persisting. I keep persisting. This could be a little bit of an energy of you're not really standing up for yourself. It's like you're worn out and you just have this sense of, well, this is just what it's supposed to be. I guess I just have to keep, trudging away through the mud. And so this energy of this like bitterness, almost like bullying type of impulsive energy, it's kind of like that something snaps in you and it's just like, no, I don't want to keep looping through this. And so when you get to that point, of being like, no, enough is enough, that is that fated and destined movement, because that's what's going to bring you into your Six of Wands victory. So that is what is going on. Let's pull a couple of oracle cards as well. See what additional messages are coming through. Moonlight, travel, romance, and potential. So this is, there is this potential. There's that kind of draw to something more peaceful, serene, something a little bit more dreamy state than whatever this is. So this card is kind of in direct opposition to it. And then let's pull one from our romance deck. And the interesting thing is, and I think I commented on this during yesterday's daily read, is a lot of times on the channel, I look at color palettes and how those flow together. So it hits a little different when it's decks like this, where there is no color to it. So some of these messages, they come together differently or in a more subtle way. Past life relationship. You have known each other before. So this is a situation, whatever is going on, it is related to somebody from a past life. So there could be past life karma that needs to be cleared with this person. So just because you knew the person in a past life doesn't mean necessarily that you're destined and fated, that you're going to end up together and riding off into the sunset and getting married and living happily ever after. So sometimes, depending on what your scenario is, you may have past life karma with this person that you need to clear before you can move on to your happy, peaceful path in this life. All right. And then we have, no one cares, quit your whining. So this is a little bit of that, if you're sitting in, I'll call it victim mentality, where you're burned out and you just keep persevering, a little bit of this it is a matter of, if you are the person who's always just going on and on to your friends about, oh, this is terrible, oh, my relationship is so terrible, or my job is so terrible, at some point you need to do something about it. So the no one cares, quit your whining, it doesn't mean that you're not supported. It just means that there's a time to talk about it, and then there's a time to do something about it. So if you are sitting in this energy here, if you're just exhausted, you're burned out. Also, the no one cares, quit your whining is kind of like, okay, how much longer are you going to sit in this place before you do something about it? Because there's one thing to wait for what you perceive the right timing to be. There's another thing of just keeping yourself in a situation perpetually because you just don't have the strength or the courage to leave. But the Wheel of Fortune card is, if you are waiting for the right time, this is your sign from the universe. Like, the right time is going to be coming. So that was our message for our fire signs. Now let us move on to our earth signs, which is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Let's see what messages are wanting to come through for Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. The High Priestess. I feel like the High Priestess card has been coming out a lot lately in the readings. This is that divine feminine, like inner wisdom, higher consciousness. So it's really about seeing the purpose of everything and embracing it with love and like nurturing and understanding and compassion. Let's pull a couple more cards and see what else we have coming through. We have our Knight of Wands in reverse, and then we also have our Page of Swords in reverse. So, with our Knight of Wands in reverse, this is kind of like this little bit of like anger and recklessness. And then our Page of Swords in reverse is going to be some cynicism and bluntness, and almost like some sense of manipulation. So it's coming across like there's a lot of this, call it like burnout type of energy, and like a lot of frustration about still being stuck in this Ten of Wands energy. So what do you do about it? That's one of those things. In order to be able to move past that, there is a sense of persistence and resilience. That doesn't mean keep doing what you've always done. If you keep doing what you've always done, you're going to get what you've always gotten. So to move out of it, it's a matter of acknowledging these feelings, because when you're having these, I'll call them low vibe feelings coming up, like this anger, this bitterness, this cynicism, like impulsiveness, like that sort of thing, that's kind of that response of lashing out because you're tired of being in the situation that you're in. But you need to sit in that High Priestess energy, pull back and take a look at what is really going on around you. What is the lesson you're supposed to be learning? And once you can see what that lesson is, you'll be able to know how to move forward. And then your Gaia card is Gaia. Wisdom, knowledge, spiritual understanding. So this spiritual understanding, this card is your High Priestess card, essentially. So you're connecting in with your intuition, with Mother Nature, and you're reconnecting in so that way you can understand what's going on. You can see what this cycle is. So this Wheel of Fortune, when you look at these, like the animals that are around it, they're sitting there watching it. So with your Wheel of Fortune, remember, it's that things are supposed to happen in a certain order. Stuff is supposed to happen. There's timing that goes along with everything. There's this sense of divine order. And part of it is you need to understand what the lesson is before you can move on from it. Because otherwise, if the situation just disappears, you haven't learned anything. You didn't have to come to an understanding and do something to make the situation work out or resolve itself. Like if somebody just boom snaps their fingers and it's done for you, you really don't learn that. So the timing is that this will continue to drag out until you can use that inner wisdom to be able to say, oh, this is what I need to learn. This is what I need to know. And then your Romance Oracle card is Reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. Now, for everybody, that's going to look a little bit different. Remember, though, that Sometimes the universe, if you think that you've gotten over certain patterns, sometimes the universe will send in final tests. So this someone from your past is returning to your life. Make sure that it's somebody that it would be a good, positive influence in your life, not just, oh, this person is familiar to me. Because if they represent unhelpful or unproductive cycles in your life, like that's not the sort of person you want to reconcile with. Lessons will repeat until you learn. So like I was saying earlier, with this Wheel of Fortune card, these things are going to keep repeating until you identify this is the lesson I'm supposed to learn. And that means that I have done X, Y, Z, and I've changed certain behaviors or patterns. So, you know, like with the reconciliation that someone from your past is returning. So say it was that you struggled with frequently falling into third-party energy or third-party situations. You know, if you may experience somebody from your past coming in, maybe it was somebody that you really liked, but either they're already in a relationship or you're in a relationship or you both are. So the universe is like testing you, like, are you really done with third-party situations, or are you going to fall into that again because, oh, this person's nice, they're from my past, and you know. So those are the types of things. Be mindful of what's coming into your field and why is it coming into your field. Did you learn the lessons you were supposed to learn? Did you kind of close the door on chapters that needed to be closed? All right, on to our water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. What do we have for you? High Priestess for you as well. So it looks like at the collective level, there is a lot of up-leveling happening where people are starting to get a better grasp on what is their mission here? What are they supposed to be doing? What are they here to learn? And really seeing a lot of this higher wisdom. Because like I said, the High Priestess card has come out a bunch. I think it came out twice in the readings for Thursday. You know, so I feel like it's just coming up quite a bit. All right. So for water signs, we have our King of Cups in reverse and the Magician in reverse. So with our King of Cups in reverse, that's going to be feelings of like manipulation and worry and stress. And then with the Magician in reverse, that is that sense of you're feeling taken for granted, like your talents are being wasted. Whether that's in a work situation, like you're not being utilized to the best of your potential, or in a relationship situation, like you feel like what you're doing is going unnoticed, like you're putting in all of the work in the relationship and you feel like that's not really being appreciated or noticed or acknowledged by your partner. And so with this King of Cups in reverse being this manipulation and this worry and this stress, this is really what this heavy energy is. This is really what this burnout, this exhaustion, this sense of struggle and just, you know, being overburdened is really about this, like that you're not feeling appreciated, and it makes you kind of worry, like, why am I not being appreciated anymore? So those cards are going together. And again, with this energy of the High Priestess, this is kind of that sense of how do you pull out of the situation, like zoom out, take a look at what all is going on. What are the lessons that your avatar is supposed to be learning? What is it that you can do to move these lessons along and be able to get that sense of, you know, you're like that things are kind of coming full circle. So this stamina and this perseverance is you still have a little ways to go to finish wrapping up this cycle, but it's all in due time. And it's going to take as long as it takes for you to understand what the lesson is, learn the lesson, and kind of move forward there. All right, we have Tree of Life, fertility, creativity, destiny, and magical blessings. So with this destiny, that kind of goes with this Wheel of Fortune card. You know, what is fated and destined for you? And it's more than sitting in this tough energy. So yes, there is something to be said for, you know, not jumping ship the second something gets tough, but people, when you think about what is your life lesson on this planet, it's not how much crap can I endure over the course of my lifetime. It's not going to be that. It's not saying, oh, well, I I stayed for 25 years in a job that made me absolutely miserable and I hated it and I dreaded going to work every day. Like that's not what your lesson is. It's about, it's going to be something about being true to yourself. So look at things like your creativity. What are your magical blessings? What have you been bestowed, or what's been bestowed upon you in terms of your gifts to share with the world? And this says, let go of control issues. Allow the situation to unfold naturally. So this is coming from the the romance oracle deck. So as it relates to relationships, sorry, it feels really dry in here today. So being able to let go of some of that control and having this inner wisdom that things are going to unfold the way they're supposed to unfold. Things are going to go along the path that they're supposed to, because that's that wheel of fortune. Things will happen in the timing that they're supposed to be happening in. All right, last card for water sign. Zoom out and see what lesson is unfolding. So that's exactly what I've been saying, that there's lessons everywhere, and it's a matter of, are you acknowledging them? Are you seeing what those lessons are? Are you allowing them to unfold, or are you trying to control certain narratives because you're trying to get to the destination that you think you're supposed to be at? So that is that reminder. Zoom out. What is the lesson? And how do you take the next steps forward? All right, let's take a look at our air signs. That is going to be our Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. What do we have for you? The Hanged Man. So the Hanged Man, this is that period of like self-imposed reflection, and you're really looking at your situation, trying to figure out what you should do. It's a little bit of that sense of stagnation and, trying to see things from a different perspective, like you're literally hanging upside down. So trying to see things from a different perspective. Is there a different way to go about learning this lesson? How do I see it differently? Maybe I thought my lesson was this, but when you turn upside down, oh, hey, maybe it's actually something else. So let's pull a couple more tarot cards and see what messages come up. 8 of Swords and the Lovers in reverse. So 8 of Swords is that feeling of being trapped and stagnant. So this actually goes a lot with this Hanged Man card, because also with the 8 of Swords, and we looked at this one in last night's reading, the message from your person reading. So there you go. You've got the dog is blindfolded, and so the dog can't see, like the figure here can't see what is in front of them. All they know is that there's all these swords around. There's this dangerous situation, and one of their senses has been taken away. So one of the important things to remember is when one of your senses is taken away, the other ones get stronger. So for people who are, healers, empaths, light workers, which a lot of people who watch tarot are, this is about, what are your other senses? How can you tap into your intuition a little bit better? How can you put your faith and your trust in the divine? Because in traditional Rider-Waite decks, you can see more water, and the water actually starts at the character's feet in those decks. In this one, it's a little bit away, but you have to have a little bit of that leap of faith, and you'll see the water, which is like the blessings from the divine, poured out in front of this character, this figure. So if they can just take baby steps in that direction, they'll find themselves along the path that the divine is trying to lead them towards. It's just a matter of having that faith, having that trust, because look, most of the swords are behind you. So it's just having that sense of faith and trust. And then with the Lovers in reverse, this is about, if it's relationship related, it's actual maybe struggles, disharmony within your relationship. Also, the Lovers card is it's Gemini. It's card number 6. So that is all about communication. And this is pulled for air signs, which Gemini is an air sign. So this is also about making big decisions. The Lovers card is a decision card. And so with it being in the reverse, there is some energy and some pressures of, things feeling out of balance right now. So what is your decision to make when things feel out of balance? Like, have you been the one? Are you trapped because you feel like you're the one that's putting forth all of this effort, all of this energy? So as we look at it, especially with this persistence and resilience? Are you the one that's putting forth most of the effort and you're getting burned out by it? So that could be part of the problem, is you're just feeling burned out. But know that there's this destined and fated element to it, that's there for a reason. So there's a lesson attached to this, and it's a matter of taking this hanged man time to figure out what is that lesson. Is your lesson patience and being understanding? Okay, the card that jumped was perception. Or is your lesson to stand up for yourself? And I'll read these two, because I'm pulling this one because the other one jumped. So the jump card was perception, beyond the veil of illusion. And then your pulled card is rising above, clarity, freedom, and solution. So there's a little bit of an illusion that's going on right now. And so the situation seems like it's one thing, but use this hanged man where you're trying to see things, from a different angle, and see what is truly behind that veil. And some of it from a timing perspective with this Wheel of Fortune card. The timing could be that you needed to be still and wait to be able to have that veil lifted so that you can see what the true reality of a situation is. New love. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. So it could be something new that's coming in, an all new person, whether it's that you're breaking up and then moving forward towards a new person, or whether it's just that being around a certain person has triggered other creative things within you, has kind of triggered that sense of, I want more. I want something different. I want something that's more in alignment with me. I'm tired of feeling burned out. So, I want a different job. This person quit their job and started something new, and look at how great it's been. So, there could be a new person that's kind of sparking that sort of thought within you. Then we also have, you're misreading this situation. So we're putting this together with the hanged man and with perception. There's something that you're about to be shown a different truth. So, a truth could be I'm not going to say a perception, but the truth of the situation. You may have seen it that this is what the truth is. Maybe the other person sees it slightly differently. So it looks like you're going to be getting some more information, because as of right now, you're misreading what the situation is. And so some additional information is going to come. You're going to, use that perception and kind of evaluate and see things from maybe a different perspective in terms of which way you need to go so that you can rise above and move into some of these higher timelines that are destined and fated for you. So I hope that you found today's message to be helpful, but as always, take only what resonates and leave the rest behind. And as I mentioned, make sure to hit the subscribe and notification bell if you want to be alerted as to when new videos post. Otherwise, I wish you peace and joy along your journey. Until next time.